welcome back on board Royal Caribbean's Odyssey of the Seas, day number, what is it?
4? 4, it's 4.
It's 4.
It's a long trip.
It is. We find ourselves in Piraeus, Greece, the gateway port city to Athens. That's where we are headed off today. We're gonna get started here. Day number 4 on board Odyssey of the Seas in Athens, Greece begins right now.
Big day today.
Now, we have an excursion booked through Royal Caribbean. In fact, it's the only port where we booked a Royal Caribbean excursion. And the reason why we booked an excursion through Royal Caribbean for Athens only is because we knew that the stuff that we wanted to see in Athens would need a decent amount of transportation in order to get there. So we figured, why not do it through an excursion and get a tour with it anyways. And the excursion that we chose is called the Highlights of Athens. And it's 7 hours long, so it's a really big one, but it's going to take us to like all the main spots in Athens, like the Acropolis and the site of the first Olympics and the Temple of Zeus. So we should see a lot of really cool stuff today. And we got these short excursion tickets in our room upon boarding, and it says that we need to meet in the Royal Theatre on deck 4 at 8 a.m. So that's where we're heading right now. Whoa, so this is amazing. So it's pretty typical on shore excursion day. They'll have like drinks set up that you can buy and like take off the ship with you. But what I didn't know is that you could use your diamond drinks and get a Powerade. So like I just got a Powerade for free because we have diamond drinks. They also had canned waters over there too, and on other ships we've seen like bottles of water and stuff as well. But that's awesome. I didn't know we could use our points or like our diamond rewards to do that, so good find. They have these little number signs set up, and then they have you sit in the area that correlates with your excursion number, and ours happens to be 14, which is our anniversary number. So today's gonna be a lucky day. Number 14 was called, so we are hurting our way down to the gangway. Our very first steps in Greece. Do you remember how to say hello in Greek?
Nope, not even close.
I don't either. I learned it for the intro and forgot it already. Yay! The herd led us to the correct paddle and bus.
It's gonna be a lot.
They gave us a little like ear listener to thing to hear the tour.
Port of Greece. It was always the biggest port of Greece, and it will be the biggest port of Greece. And Cape, the southest cape behind of the ship that is leaving, with the name Sunion. The southest cape of Athens. The highest hill you see in front of the sports hall, the Lycabettos hill. And then next to it, there's a lower hill and there's a building on it. This is the Parthenon. The lower hill is the Acropolis and the Parthenon. Can you see it?
Here we go. About an hour-long bus ride to get over here. It's busy. Now we're going through the turnstiles to see the Acropolis and slopes.
And slopes.
The articles, which was a Roman citizen. He didn't vote at the same time. That monument, the grave of
And that slopes portion is quite important because we are going to be going up, up, up today. Lots of steps.
All the Athenian politicians left the city because they were voting.
They told us that the Acropolis only has one entrance and one exit, and it's the same. So that's why it's so busy. One way in, one way out.
This is also the Temple of Nike, which is where Nike comes from. Like Nike shoes and athletic wear.
Oh, that's true? I thought they were just joking.
I don't think so.
That's real? They also said that the goddess Nike, she would fly from town to town, and wherever she landed, like they would win like their battle. So they cut her wings off, so then she would stay in that spot.
But then they lost the Peloponnesian War, so.
Bad karma.
Odyssey of the Seas? And of course, the Acropolis is just the hilltop area, but up on top of it, the Parthenon.
Now you can hear me?
Yes.
Of a double Ionian columnade. That means a line of columns. The temple. As I said, it was not the sanctuary. The sanctuary was the other one. Here was the temple of Athena. So Poseidon against Athena. The entrance of the temple was there. There or here, we said.
Whoa, from up here you can see
The temple.
the very first theater ever.
So they could see the
That's amazing! As a theater and Broadway fan myself, this is pretty cool. And then over to the left of the theater, all the way over there, where those columns are, right there, that is the Temple of Zeus. Pretty cool. And if you reach over the rope and touch any of this marble or remnants of marble, you will get yelled at and get in big, big trouble. So don't do that.
And the best part of visiting this site by far, kitty. I'll name it Athena. Oh, going to sleep.
You saw a cat today, so you went from 0 to hero, bless my soul.
So this building is a temple for Athena, and the bottom is for Poseidon. They had like kind of a battle for the city. They decided to go with Athena, and that's why it's named Athens. There's an olive tree over there that Athena sprouted. Poseidon, of course, made salt water. They like them both. They want to appease all the gods. So a temple for both of them.
Like, that's really cool. That's my favorite thing I've learned. Acropolis did it.
Did it. About 1 million other people.
It was really cool. Honestly, my favorite part wasn't even like the main stuff. It was seeing the first theater, sorry, lots of pigeons just flew by. We saw the birthplace of theater today, and that was my favorite part.
There you go. I already told you mine, and I haven't changed.
But I will say, this is like definitely the busiest attraction, like monument kind of thing we've seen like this whole entire trip.
Yes.
So be prepared for that. It gets very busy and very crowded. There's a lot of steps, a lot of inclines, so be prepared for that. If you want the information and you want someone to like help you and guide you and get you here and stuff, then do the tour. But if you want to like take your time and like stay up there and like really get like good pictures and stuff like that, I would maybe come on, like get your own transportation and come on your own. Just thoughts. Very appropriate that we saw the birthplace of theater, because we have like an exhibition going on in the park.
It's getting a bit chaotic. They've changed buses on us. And look at all this traffic. There's buses, there's vans, there's an ambulance, and scooters all winding through here. The tour guide is displeased. Pandemonium ensues. Tour guides are crossing paths. The groups are getting all intermingled. No one knows where they're going, except us. This is our new bus right here.
Actually, they started very beautiful. They started here in the stadium, they went to the Agora afterwards, to the marketplace, and then they went up the Acropolis. It happened, look at this amazing view that we have on the left-hand side. South side and east side of the Acropolis and the Parthenon. We can see excellent, beautiful.
All right, we have stopped for a moment here at the stadium. Now, I think we misheard up at the top that this is an ancient stadium. It is not. This is, though, the site of the first modern Olympic Games, 1896, I believe. Before that, the Olympics were always done in Olympia, hence the name. But then they decided to move them to Athens for the modern games. They constructed this stadium for that. So it is still quite old, but not quite ancient.
If you were an Olympian, what would be your competition?
Not running. Maybe swimming, you know, if I was trained up. Not
Yeah.
now. But I love swimming.
Too bad they don't have an Olympic game for snorkeling.
Ooh, I'd win. You would be like a pole vaulter, right? Because you like gymnastics.
In like our original game, yeah. If it was like modern, I would do gymnastics. But like pole vaulting, I think I would like do really good.
80,000, we have a concert here. We had the concert, something like that.
That would be awesome.
There's the Temple of Zeus again.
Lower
Corinthian
Byron, sculpture
columns.
here, the right-hand side. As you see in 2 levels, you will see the lower level towards, I think. So, and at the right-hand side, you see that the waiting, that the soldiers will change. Unfortunately, they have the summer uniform.
Oh yeah, they don't have it.
It's not so spectacular as the winter uniform, which they wear those on special occasions. So here the monument of the unknown soldier, the ancient soldier that is lying, and the
Remember they wouldn't
parliament.
have launch, I think.
It's the same building as the Austrian parliament, but this is earlier B. So the Academy of Athens. Then the building in the middle is the University of Athens.
So this is the Constitution Square, and the guards like stand outside this, and then they switch out every hour. Bye bye bus. We're on our own for a little while.
We now have a little less than 3 hours to just do whatever we want.
Explore. They dropped us off at like kind of like the city center shopping kind of area.
Yeah.
So now we're just free to explore on our own. Oh, you can see the Acropolis from over here. That's where we were earlier. That's cool. Over this way is the Acropolis Museum. So we probably won't get too lost. Those are 2 big kind of landmarks we have going on in between.
I also have something else funny.
What's that?
You wanted to try to go find the theater, and we said we're gonna sit down, look at a map and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Oh my gosh! That's it?
That's it.
Oh, can we go in there?
We need to go back there to the gate.
Okay, let's go.
The cats here are such loungers. What am I saying? That's cats everywhere. That's why I love them. The queue is where we would have to go to get inside the theater because it's all part of the Acropolis and slopes, which we already did today.
So you have to have like a ticket to get in, like a ticket for the Acropolis, which we have. We have our one from earlier, and we went to scan it. It was like, no, because it's like a one-time visit ticket. You can't like go in, go out, and then go back in. So we can't go in to see the theater because our ticket isn't valid anymore.
Ding dang, and it's 20 euros per person to get in because of course that is the whole thing.
So we're not gonna go back in just to like see the theater up closer, but that is something that's like a consideration with this tour is like, one, you can't like use your ticket to go back in and back out. So just in general, if you buy a ticket, like do everything you want to do inside before you exit because you can't get back in. And 2, with the tour, kind of like how I said earlier, like if you want to take your time and really like look at stuff in detail, like maybe not do the tour, but if you're valuing like the guided information and like the skip the line stuff, like which we did get in really fast, so it did help with like the queue situation. But that's kind of like the pros and cons of the tour, I would say. But biggest tip, see everything in the gate before you walk outside.
Because that's it.
We got buzzed out.
We're outside the Museum of the Acropolis, just looking for a place to sit down, but check it out. They have glass panels here in the ground, and you can look straight in. Look at the old tile mosaic stuff. The ruins that are below us here. Oh, and then they just have it open air down into whatever this used to be. And this looks like a well filled with coins now. Update, we changed our mind. We don't know if we're only gonna be here once. We might come back someday. But we know we're here now, and we want to see this theater. From looking at Google Maps, apparently the proper name is the Theatre of Dionysus. Check it out as we're walking up to it. Altar of Dionysus. That's what they said, like it's like a kind of a religious faction, I think,
Well,
came into the area.
I saw that Dionysus was like the god of something. I think maybe like wine or...
That sounds kind of right.
something like that.
So it looks like there was a whole area here, the later temple of Dionysus. You can see there's still some ruins, some old structure here, and then the theater up behind that. Now, if we were understanding our tour guide, and more importantly, our own research correctly, this may not have been, and almost definitely not, is the oldest theater structure. It's not so much the structure, it's the fact of Greek theater, what we know as theater today, kind of being born here, because before you would just have monologues. You'd have one person up there giving a speech or, you know, giving some kind of standalone performance, and then this is where you started to get actual dialogue via a call and response kind of chanting.
This was like the birth of Greek theater, which was like the birth of like modern day like drama and like storytelling.
Yeah.
I think you could definitely for sure say that this was the birthplace of modern day theater.
There you go.
So which is really exciting.
Yay, another cat. They all look so different too.
What's this kitty called? It needs to have a theatrical name.
Oh, this is Othello.
Good one.
There it is. The stage area with the seats. Look at these seats, carved out of marble. Got writing on them, like built-in backrest, and then tiered up after that. Now, if my reading was correct on the history of this place, is that it used to have wooden seats. Those got decrepit and I think even burned at some point. They said actually back when this was originally instituted, when this was originally built, there actually were no seats. It was mainly just in the side of the hill that they would sit. So I don't know exactly what the timeline is here that the seats were added. Obviously now, not too much left, but pretty cool all the same. And the sign here says that the original structure was actually much, much larger than what ruins remain. So it would have probably gone way up there and on around, and even maybe larger than just the semicircle area that you can see now. Here's a picture of a model of what they believe the full theater looked like in its heyday. So as you can see, much larger than what remains now. Look, there was a Roman coin that had this theater etched onto it, and the Acropolis. It says British Museum, London. So maybe when we go to London, we can go to British Museum and see this coin.
I would very much like to have that coin.
Oh, I don't think they'll let you take it.
I'm sure a lot of people would like to have that coin.
Have one like general education course that had nothing to do with art.
So it looks like the larger structure here, like this wall, had these statues along the side of it. When you look down at the pictures here, it looks like they've been moved to various museums in different areas, but this statue of Menander still remains. This is really cool on this sign. They have color-coded all the blocks on this wall, and it tells you how old those blocks are. And there are even some original Piraeus limestone blocks in place and original conglomerate blocks in place.
So it's actually like a lot that's like original.
Yeah, so yeah, the original Piraeus limestone is this yellow, which is probably hard to see on the camera with the colors because of the sun, but it's basically this, the bottom part here.
Yeah.
You can kind of get an idea. And they've added those other blocks up there. But some of these along the bottom are original. By the way, if you decide you want to do what we did and get tickets instead of waiting in the usually long queue, you can follow these steps to purchase them online in real time. You get a QR code emailed to you, and then you just scan that right at the booth to go in. Pretty simple. Oh, and there is a Wi-Fi network here called Acropolis Wi-Fi that you can connect to if you can get it to work, and use that in case you don't have service or you don't want to pay for some kind of travel pass. All right, almost 3 o'clock, so we're gonna head back to our meeting point, catch our bus, and go back to Odyssey of the Seas.
What's our meeting point called? Hades.
Hadrian's. He said Hadrian's Gate. Our other stuff says Hadrian's Arch.
So
Whatever.
we're gonna go to Hadrian's Gate / Arch.
And they slapped his face on every vase.
On every vase.
And we go back to the bus number that matches our tour number, so that's really nice and handy. Bus number 14, and there's the arch, or the gate. We have returned. It's time to head back on board. And we talked about this on day one, but it's actually easier to see from the side here. We're on the other side of the ship, but you can tell, see how much smaller that boat is than the rest of the lifeboats, this one here? It's like half the size. So if you can get an obstructed view right in that location, you're better off.
We started this new tradition on this trip where we go and get food, like from Cafe 270 or El Loco Fresh, and we bring it back to our balcony and enjoy the view. How can you beat this? The only way you can beat it is by having a nice fuzzy blanket to cover yourself up while you eat, and I got that, so really, there is no beating this situation.
And we are underway. We're a bit delayed. They said there were still some people missing from the ship. And then the captain said he hopes that they make it because we're gonna leave regardless. I don't know if they made it or not. Hopefully they did, for their sake. But we are heading out of here. Bye, Athens. We're on to Santorini. Our day in Athens draws to a close, but fret not, our adventures in Greece have only just begun.
Yes, tomorrow we're gonna be at Santorini, one of the most beautiful places ever, at least by the pictures. So I'm really excited to go there. I had a lot of fun in Athens today, and I'm excited for our adventure tomorrow.
Absolutely, so we hope we will see you back there as well. As always, if you're interested in booking your own cruise, feel free to reach out via the travel agent information in the description of this video and every other video on this channel. It's completely free to you to use our services, so we hope we'll hear from you soon. Once again, I want to thank you for joining us for today's video. See you back tomorrow, back on board Odyssey of the Seas and in Santorini, Greece. But until then, we are signing off for tonight. See you back tomorrow.
Happy travels! I didn't learn how to say goodbye in Greek yet. I'll try to do that for tomorrow. So, bye!